Motorsport TV Live, brought to you by Motorsport Tickets, the dedicated motorsport experiences provider.
Hello and welcome to Motorsport TV Live. I'm Chris McCarthy with all the latest from the world of motorsport. The number 7 Toyota will start on pole for WEC's season finale in Bahrain. The future of former Formula E champion Antonio Felix da Costa is decided, and we bring you a very special preview ahead of the NASCAR Cup Series finale this weekend. All those stories and more coming up here on Motorsport TV Live. The number 7 Toyota will start the 2021 World Endurance Championship title decider in Bahrain on pole position after Kamui Kobayashi topped hypercar qualifying on Friday. Kobayashi's best time was 0.6 faster than what Brendan Hartley managed in the number 8 Toyota, with Alpine coming third in the hypercar class after Matthew Vavier's efforts. United Autosport's Philip Albuquerque snatched the LMP2 pole at the last minute, edging out Real Team's Norman Nato by 100th. Kevin Estre put Porsche on pole in the GTE Pro ranks, beating the lead Ferrari of title rival James Calado. Meanwhile, Roberto Lacorte set the quickest time in the GTE AM aboard the 47 Citilia Racing Ferrari. Anthony Davidson's number 38 Joe to Sport entry will start in 6th for his final outing as a professional driver after announcing he's calling time on his racing career. We were pleased to be joined by Davidson a little earlier for a look back on his career, and he explained why now is the right time to go.
While you're going through it, you don't really focus on all of the positives. Well, I certainly didn't. You're always wanting more and more. So to get through to the height of the sport in Formula One was a big achievement and something I can look back now with immense pride. Not many drivers get that opportunity to drive in Formula One, and let alone compete in the races. I spent a long time as a test driver, but to get that chance with Super Guri to do a full season like I did, full season and a bit, they're great memories, and I'm proud of having had that opportunity, and proud that I managed to get there without any funding. It was done through talent alone, but at the time I didn't really appreciate it as much. I just wanted more and more. I think that's quite natural when you're that age and blinkered on your mission to get through into Formula One from go-karts all the way up. And it's only now that I can look back and appreciate what I've achieved in my career and look more towards the positives that came along, rather than always wanting more and the negatives that are so easy to do when you're in the midst of competition.
And of course, from there, going into endurance racing, you've taken multiple podiums at the 24-hour Le Mans included, and taken the championship win back in 2014 as well. How did it feel to wrap up the World Endurance Championship? Because it's such a hard title to win.
I was in a pretty bad place at the end of Formula One, not knowing what to do. And when LMP1 came along, it just opened up this new avenue for me, and I fell in love with it. I loved the way the cars felt. I loved the camaraderie between the teammates. It just felt like that's what I was made to do. Formula One's quite a selfish sport in many aspects. You have to be quite blinkered, quite focused solely on your own side of the garage, and you see your teammate as the enemy in many ways. But in sports cars, it's the complete opposite. You work with your teammates, and I've always been a team player. That's why I think I fitted the testing role so well. And I just shifted that. I adapted what I did in testing in Formula One and moved into LMP1, and saw me win a world championship. In many ways, you look back and think, it wasn't the championship I wanted. I wanted Formula One at the time, but I just look back now at what I achieved in sports cars, and I'm more than happy that I won a world championship in LMP1. It's a great category, and like I say, it's been a way of life for me now for many years. And arguably feels like a bigger portion of my career than anything else.
And what happens now next for you? Obviously, you've had a broadcasting career ever since 2009, working with Sky Sports F1, which we all know you for in recent times. What happens next now? Are you going to continue that, look to further input into that, or is it going to be just step away completely?
Oh, no, it's not the last you'll see of me, that's for sure. No, so the simulator work with Mercedes will carry on. Just signed a longer term deal with them. So it's great. I love that role. I love the job, but no, definitely not the last you'll see of me. I'll still be hopefully working with the F1 program at Sky in the coming years, and for a long time into the future. I feel like I have a lot to offer in terms of the experience I have to bring that to the fans and to talk about knowledgeably the sport that I absolutely love and has been a way of life since, like I say, since I was an 8-year-old kid.
Well, your input at Sky is something we all love, so we look forward to seeing more of that to come in the next few years. And Anthony, thank you very much for joining us. Best of luck this weekend. We certainly hope you can all end on the top step of the podium. But thank you for joining us here at Motorsport TV Live.
Thank you very much.
Great to hear from Anthony Davidson there a little earlier. Well, his Jota teammate this weekend, Antonio Felix da Costa, has had his Formula E future sorted out this afternoon and is set to remain with DS Techeetah in 2022, despite uncertainty surrounding the team's financial future throughout last season. Da Costa had been linked to the likes of Mercedes, while a return to Andretti Autosport was also rumoured after financial troubles left Da Costa and teammate Jean-Eric Vergne to endure protracted periods without pay. Even after a potential takeover fell through, the Portuguese driver has all but confirmed he has a deal in place for next season. Da Costa told motorsport.com out in Bahrain that he's now looking forward to the future with what he called one of the strongest teams in Formula E. After he finishes his wet commitments, Da Costa will report for pre-season Formula E testing in just 2 weeks' time in Valencia. Well, don't go anywhere. We've got lots more news from the world of motorsport coming up here on Motorsport TV Live. Lots to look forward to there this weekend with Super GT in action at Motegi, followed by the World Endurance Championship season finale from Bahrain, with all the classes battling it out for titles. Sebastian Vettel won 4 F1 world titles with Red Bull, and now he's told his old team not to use bad team orders on Sergio Perez if he has a chance of winning his home race in Mexico this weekend. While Vettel understands that such a team order call would be entirely logical for Red Bull as they battle Mercedes for the drivers and constructors titles, Vettel said he wasn't a fan of team orders in F1. Talking about the potential for this weekend, Vettel said if Checo happens to be ahead, then Checo should stay ahead. And if he's not ahead, he has to be overtaken by whoever, whether that's a Mercedes or a Red Bull. I can also see if that's not happening, and he will have to let Max by. But Valtteri Bottas has been in that position, and it's not nice. Going into Mexico, Lewis Hamilton trails Max Verstappen by 12 points in the fight for the Drivers' Championship, with 5 races remaining. The final 4 championship contenders for the NASCAR Cup Series title will battle it out this weekend at the Phoenix Raceway. Denny Hamlin, Martin Truex Jr., the in-form Kyle Larson and defending champion Chase Elliott are the ones still in the running. And Motorsport TV Live's Mariano Rongvo has been taking a closer look at how the race will shape up.
This weekend is the NASCAR Cup Series finale at Phoenix Raceway, and it's like the Super Bowl of NASCAR, but instead of 2 teams fighting for a championship, it's 4 drivers hashing it out for the title in a field of 30-plus cars. So let's take a look at the contenders, the Championship 4. First up, we have Kyle Larson in the number 5 Hendrick Motorsports Chevrolet. And he's having the season of his life after coming back to NASCAR from being banned in 2020 for a racial slur. He's leading the field in wins with 9, in top 10 finishes with 25, top 5 finishes with 19, and laps led with 2,474. So he is the clear favorite to take the title this weekend. And if he actually manages to win the race, he'll be the first driver since Jimmy Johnson in 2007 to finish a NASCAR season with 10 or more victories. Next up, Chase Elliott, the defending champ in the number 9 Hendrick Motorsports Chevrolet. Now, if he actually does manage to win the title this weekend, he'll be the first driver since Jimmy Johnson in 2010 to actually win back-to-back NASCAR Cup Series championships. But he hasn't really been able to match Larson for pace this year, and he only has 2 wins to his name, neither of them at ovals, which is a shock. So if he has any hopes of taking the title, he's going to have to dig really deep.
To get to Phoenix, it's anybody's game, when you get out there if you're in that Final Four. So just really proud of this group to make it for a second consecutive year, and being amongst those 4 cars is a big deal. So we're excited to have a shot. I think we can run with the best of them, and we're looking forward to the opportunity.
Next up, we have Denny Hamlin in the number 11 Joe Gibbs Racing Toyota. Now, he's been in this position. He's actually made the Final Four 3 times, but never managed to win. He's only finished as high as 3rd in the standings. But he's having an incredible season with the highest finish average of the entire field at 8.6. And even though he only has 2 victories, they've both come during the playoffs, which means he's driving his best at the right time. Hopefully his confrontation with Bowman last weekend doesn't come back to haunt him during the race.
Denny Hamlin not happy with the way Bowman raced him.
Denny, be smart, big picture here, big picture.
Finally, we have Martin Truex Jr. in the number 19 Joe Gibbs Racing Toyota. Now, the Gibbs Toyotas haven't been as competitive as they hoped this year, and he just made it into the playoffs. But remember, he is the 2017 champ. He came runner-up in both 2018 and 2019, so he is no stranger to being in this situation. And also really important, he is the most recent winner at Phoenix Raceway when he took victory there back in March. So there you go, a quick look at the NASCAR Cup Series Championship 4. Who'll be racing the trophy at the end? It's hard to say. Anything can happen in NASCAR. So we'll just have to wait and see.
Our thanks to Mariano there for that in-depth analysis ahead of the championship for this weekend. And you can catch all the updates and reaction from that event right here on Motorsport TV Live. Touring car legend Gabriele Tarquini has announced he will retire at the end of the current FIA World Touring Car Cup season after a career that spanned almost 40 years. The announcement comes ahead of their Adria round this weekend. The Italian driver is best known for his touring car success, having won titles in the British, European and World Touring Car Championships. Reflecting on the announcement, Tarquini said, "I feel very sad after a long career that felt like it would never end. You think this moment will never come. In life, everything has a start and a finish, and I am old enough to understand this. It was important to me to announce my decision at my home race in Italy. This is the right moment." The Italian also has 38 Formula One Grand Prix starts and 1 Le Mans 24-hour to his name, and also holds the record as the oldest ever FIA World Champion at age 56. Tarquini will take to the circuit for his last ever race in the World Touring Car Cup finale at Sochi later this month. Well, that's all for now. Head over to motorsport.com for more on all of today's top stories. I'm Chris McCarthy. Join us again here on Motorsport TV Live for all the latest news from the world of motorsport. Bye for now.